everybody, this is Caitlin with the Twinsburg Library here for another steamy science afternoon. So today, I thought since the weather has been beautiful lately, why don't you take a walk outside and we're going to talk a little bit about the science of nature. We're going to do 3 quick science experiments, 2 involving some leaves and 1 involving temperature. And we're going to have a lot of fun. So first things first, we're going to talk about what makes up a leaf. So go outside and find some really cool leaves. I got all kinds of them over here. And what do you notice about all my leaves right now in the summer? They're all green because they are filled with chlorophyll, which is what gives the leaves their nice color. So I thought we would get some of the chlorophyll out of the leaf and into some paper towels. All you have to do is you're going to need some leaves. Dark leaves work best. If you have hydrangeas, those work great, or a lot of leaves from bushes usually work the best. So you're going to just take your leaf and we're going to put it in between some paper towels, a little sandwiched in there, and then very carefully you're going to take a hammer, and I highly suggest you do this outside or wherever your parents let you, because we don't want to break anything. And very carefully we're going to pound on our leaf and see if we can get the chlorophyll from inside the leaf onto our paper towel. So we're just going to slam it together. It's usually better to hold it closer to the head. That gives you a little bit more control over it. You don't have to hit it that hard, but you want to hit it hard enough that you're going to break all the little pockets of chlorophyll in your leaf. And you're going to start to see it pop through your paper towel. You see it started going through, and if we open up our paper towel, you can see we left a lovely leaf print on our paper towel. And so if you guys can try different shaped leaves, different color leaves, you can try really cool ones and see what kind of shapes you can get. Now, do leaves stay green? No, they don't. What happens to them in the fall? They turn color. Now, what's really cool is that they don't just change color, they had that color in them all along. So if it's a red leaf, it has the red in there. It's just the green is so powerful in the chlorophyll that you can't see the red. So I'm going to show you how to take a little peek at what colors they're going to turn. So for this experiment, you're going to need, again, some leaves, and you're going to need some rubbing alcohol. You need some hot water, and a coffee filter or a really thin piece of paper towel. So, and some jars and all kinds of assortments. So what the first thing you're going to do is you're going to take your leaf, and the fun part, we're going to rip it up into itty bitty tiny little pieces. Now this isn't a long experiment, so this takes a couple hours, but I did it a little ahead of time to give you a piece. So you're going to take your leaf, I'm going to use a couple, and we're going to put it in your jar, or what have you. We're going to put a little bit of rubbing alcohol in there, and then we're going to bash up the leaves into the rubbing alcohol. Now you want to put enough rubbing alcohol in there so that it's completely covered. I'm going to actually add a little bit more, like that. And we're going to bash it as much as you can. Really grind them in there, so much so that your rubbing alcohol is going to turn green. And it needs to just be a little green. And we're going to bash it. You get the idea. And after that, we're going to take a little bit of hot water, which I already have heated in my little kettle over here. So you can take some hot water, pour it in there, and then we're going to cover it with some plastic wrap, and we're going to put it in there. So what we're doing now is between the alcohol, the rubbing alcohol, and the hot water is going to break down the chlorophyll. And we're going to suck up some of the chlorophyll, and that'll let us see some of the color that's hiding underneath there. So you're going to let this sit for about an hour. Every once in a while, shake it up, bash it up a little bit more. And then after an hour, you're going to go ahead and put in a strip of coffee filter or paper towel. And then you'll start to see that the water is going to be, super green, like this one. I'll get a little closer so you can see it better. But the alcohol turned really, really dark green in this one. And the coffee filter, you're going to let it sit there for another like half hour, 45 minutes. The longer you let it sit, the better results you're going to have. And you're going to see that it pulled up the chlorophyll. But you see that color right above there? that's yellow. You can kind of see a second layer right here, so it's green and yellow on the top. That means that the leaf that I used is going to turn yellow come the fall. So we got the chlorophyll out of there, and then it let us see what color was hiding underneath. So when the fall comes and it's not getting as much sun and it's getting a little colder, all that chlorophyll is going to break down, and you're going to be able to see the really cool colors. All right, and so we were talking about the fall coming, and it means it's going to get colder. So I thought it would be cool to show you how you can make your own thermometer at home. For this experiment, you just need a small jar. Doesn't have to be this small. It can be bigger, like any drink jar that you have around. And you're going to need some Play-Doh or modeling clay. You're going to need, you don't have to, but I highly suggest you get some food coloring, a straw, and a pen that I took apart. So I took this part pen, so it's literally this pen apart, so that is literally just an empty tube, which we're going to use as an eyedropper, because I figured you guys probably don't have eyedroppers at home. So for this experiment, what we're going to do, we are going to fill our bottle with some rubbing alcohol that you have, like that. All right. Oh, and you also need a clear straw. That's the other thing. And we're going to put some red food coloring, because we're going to make it look more like a thermometer, like so. Voila. And then we're going to take our modeling clay. Now this can be a little bit tricky, so we want to make sure that our jar is completely closed off from oxygen. So what we're going to do is I'm going to make a flattened piece of Play-Doh, and I'm going to make a little hole in the center, put it around my straw, put it over top, and we're going to seal it up so that way no air can get in or out of our jar. All right, once you've got your thermometer sealed, now it's time to experiment. So you can see that I've got my straw hanging out in there. It's not touching the bottom, and I've got it really nicely sealed. What we're going to do is we're going to use some hot water, which I'm going to use some in my kettle that I already have heated up. I'm going to put it in a bowl, like so. Oh, it's toasty. And then we're going to take our thermometer and let's see if it works. What do you think is going to happen if we heat up the liquid in there? So we're going to let it sit. It takes a little bit for it to heat up low, hot enough to heat up the whole thing. I'm actually going to add a little bit more hot water, so that way I'm touching more of the side. And oh look. And look. You guys see it? My thermometer is slowly going up. Because what's happening is that the water is heating up and it's needs to expand because heat expands. And then there's nowhere else for it to go because our Play-Doh is making a vacuum in there. So it has to go nowhere to go but up our straw. So the higher it goes up the straw, the hotter it is. And what do you guys think will happen if you put it in a bowl of ice water? You guys will have to try it at home. I hope you guys enjoyed our experiments today, and we'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.